This evening, first up, a loaded pistol, 11 rounds of ammunition found inside a Georgetown primary school classroom. How did a 10-year-old ended up carrying a 9mm to St. Agnes Primary? Then a Linden man loses his life in a truck and car collision on the Soesdyke Highway. The latest on a crash that has left a community in mourning. Plus, the courts clears the way. Azruddin Mohamed and his father cannot stop their extradition hearing. The US is waiting and the clock is ticking. Meanwhile, 97% done and on track for June. The new Wismar-Mackenzie Bridge is almost ready. A look at what's left before Linden and Mackenzie are connected like never before. And the United States unleashes its most intense strikes yet on Iran, targeting missiles, drones, and nuclear sites. What it means for a region and a world on edge. These stories and more coming up. Stay with us. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update from March 11, 2026. I'm Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, a potentially dangerous situation unfolded at a Georgetown primary school after a 10-year-old student reportedly brought a loaded firearm to class, triggering alarm among teachers and students and prompting a police investigation. The incident occurred on Monday at St. Agnes Primary School, where a teacher was conducting a class shortly before 1 p.m. when another teacher reported that a student had heard a clicking sound coming from a desk in the classroom. According to reports, a search of the child's haversack was conducted, but nothing suspicious was initially found. Moments later, however, another student reportedly discovered a firearm beneath the desk and handed it to the teacher, who immediately secured the weapon and alerted authorities. Ranks from the Ghana police force, including officers from the Albertown police station, responded to the school and took possession of the weapon. Investigators later confirmed that the firearm was a Taurus 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 11 rounds of ammunition. The weapon is reportedly licensed to a 40-year-old male who noted that he discovered the firearm missing from his safe on March 8th and had searched the home with relatives but was unable to locate it. During questioning, the student reportedly told investigators that a 14-year-old relative had handed him the firearm and asked that he put it in a family member's vehicle. Instead, the child placed the weapon in his school bag and carried it to school. The firearm and ammunition remain lodged as evidence as police continue their investigations into how the weapon ended up inside the classroom. Moving on, police are investigating a fatal accident on the Soesdyke Highway earlier today. Dead is Kieran Warner of Amelia's Ward, Linden. According to initial reports, the accident involved a collision between a truck and a motor car. The details surrounding the incident are unclear. However, authorities were dispatched to the scene shortly after the incident and began investigations into the circumstances surrounding the crash. Investigations are ongoing and further details are expected as authorities continue their probe into the accident. On a different note, the Ghana Court of Appeal on Tuesday rejected a request by opposition leader Azruddin Mohamed and his father, businessman Nazar Mohamed, to temporarily halt extradition proceedings currently before the Georgetown Magistrates Court. The two had applied for an urgent stay of the proceedings, while the appellate court considers their substantive appeal challenging the authority to proceed issued by Home Affairs Minister Wanich Waldron. After hearing arguments from attorneys on both sides, the court declined the request, allowing the extradition hearing to move forward. The court, however, set March 17th for its ruling on the substantive appeal. The case stems from a February 4th ruling by Acting Chief Justice Narendra Singh, who dismissed the judicial review application filed by the Mohammeds. Their attorneys had argued that the minister's decision to authorize the extradition proceeding was influenced by political bias, noting that Azruddin Mohamed had entered politics and contested the 2025 general and regional elections. They also sought to have the authority to proceed squashed and extradition case halted. Attorneys representing the state include Attorney General Anil Nandlal, argued that the minister was carrying out a statutory duty under the law and that the extradition request from the United States predated Mohamed's political involvement. The Mohammeds are wanted in the United States following a federal indictment filed in Miami in October 2025. Prosecutors alleged the two men were involved in a gold export fraud and money laundering scheme between 2017 and 2024 that resulted in millions of dollars in lost revenue for Guyana. The extradition hearing is expected to continue before the magistrates. Stick around when we return. Karastaba airstrip upgrade 70% complete and illegal mining sites dismantled in Region 7 as authorities intensify crackdown.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Healing streams. A moment of love, a moment of grace, a moment of His power. You can put your hand wherever you want this power to be manifested.
You're free. No, I can't jump. I can't walk.
Healing streams this March would be something like the world has never seen before. It's a day of power. Get up and get ready.
Oh, beautiful Guyana, to all our wonderful Guyanese people across the country and around the world, you are warmly invited to live healing stream services taking place from Friday 13th to Sunday 15th of March 2026. Experience powerful prayer, uplifting worship, and a message of healing and hope, all from the comfort of your home. Join us live on YouTube or Facebook and be part of this life-changing spiritual experience. For more information or prayer requests, contact Sister Bernice at 695-0942. Don't miss it. Your healing may be just one prayer away. Welcome back. Physical work on the new Wismar-Mackenzie Bridge is now 97% complete. The update was provided to the Public Works Minister, Bishop Juan Edgehill, during a site assessment last Friday, during which he met with technical staff, contractors, China Railway Construction Company Limited, and Gaisuko Construction Incorporated, and the consultancy firm Polytechnica. During the visit, the team conducted a walkthrough of the 233-meter-long concrete bridge, where concrete placement is nearing completion. Inspections were also carried out on the secondary connections leading to and from the structure. Updates from the project team revealed that work on the western end of the bridge, including the West Watuco Connector and the Coro Hall Road, is 33% complete, with major groundwork already completed. On the eastern end, works are 27% complete, with thousands of prefabricated vertical drains installed and geotextile material laid as part of the foundation work. Additional works are ongoing at the Washapan Road approach at Nikadoc, where a new culvert has been installed and retaining structures are being constructed. The project remains on schedule to become fully operational by June 2026, once the connector roads are completed. When finished, the toll-free bridge will feature 2 pedestrian walkways, modern lighting, and new roundabouts on both sides to improve traffic flow and safety. In other news, the upgrade of the Karastaba airstrip is now 70% complete, with work continuing to transform the facility from an earthen strip into a rigid concrete airstrip. According to the Ministry of Public Works, the $993 million project is being executed by the ministry's Special Projects Unit. It is expected to benefit over 1,200 residents in the community and surrounding areas. The project involves constructing a 3,000-foot by 50-foot concrete runway, a strength of 5,000 pounds per square inch, Construction is being carried out using a community participation model, with about 50 skilled and unskilled residents from the village employed on the project. While the airstrip remains closed due to final work continuing, emergency road repairs between Karasabai and Letem are helping to maintain access to residents. Once completed, the upgraded airstrip is expected to enhance safe and reliable transportation for the village and its surrounding communities, while supporting economic growth through increased opportunities in agriculture and tourism. The community has also received a new terminal for the airstrip, donated by international import and suppliers, similar to the facility constructed at the Aishalton airstrip. The project forms part of the government's broader effort to enhance connectivity and improve transportation infrastructure in hinterland communities across Guyana. Moving on, authorities have dismantled 2 illegal mining operations along the Peruni River in Region 7, following a joint enforcement exercise that uncovered several foreign nationals working without permits. According to the Ministry of Natural Resources, the operation was carried out on March 6 by officers from the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission and ranks of the Ghana Police Force at Kumong Kumong along Peruni River. During the exercise, 6 Brazilian nationals and 1 Venezuelan national were found working at the illegal mining sites. The individuals were escorted to the Bartica police station for processing. Authorities also seized an excavator, a dragger, and other equipment believed to have been used in the unlawful operations. The GGMC has since instituted several charges against the landowner, including breaching the buffer zone of the riverbank, diverting the natural flow of the river, operating without a license or permit, and failing to produce required documents such as production records, labor registers, and declarations of poisonous substances. Officials also reported that the operators had employed workers without the necessary work permits or certificates of registration. The ministry stated that steps have been taken to ensure the unlicensed operators bear the cost of environmental reclamation. It added that dismantling illegal operations is part of the government's ongoing efforts to strengthen compliance in the mining sector. Don't go away after the break. Ukraine strikes Russia, largest attack on brines since 2022 invasion, and US heavy bombers take off from UK.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Healing streams. A moment of love, a moment of grace, a moment of His power. You can put your hand wherever you want this power to be manifested.
You're free. No, I can't jump. I can't walk.
Healing streams this March would be something like the world has never seen before. Get up and get ready.
Oh, beautiful Guyana, to all our wonderful Guyanese people across the country and around the world, you are warmly invited to live healing stream services taking place from Friday 13th to Sunday 15th of March 2026. Experience powerful prayer, uplifting worship, and a message of healing and hope, all from the comfort of your home. Join us live on YouTube or Facebook and be part of this life-changing spiritual experience. For more information or prayer requests, contact Sister Bernice at 695-0942. Don't miss it. Your healing may be just one prayer away. Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world.
Good evening, I'm Dominic Gittins. Tonight, fuel shortages push Cuba towards a humanitarian crisis with hospitals struggling to operate. A Ukrainian missile strike hits the Russian city of Bryansk. US bombers leave Britain for strikes on Iran. And Washington debates the strategy behind the escalating attacks. We begin in Cuba. Fuel shortages in Cuba are pushing the countries towards a humanitarian crisis, with the United Nations warning that the island's healthcare system is nearing a critical point. Hospitals are facing power outages, medicine shortages, and disruptions to essential services, including dialysis, emergency care, and cancer treatment. The UN says about 16,000 patients needing radiotherapy and more than 12,000 requiring chemotherapy are unable to receive treatment as the worsening energy crisis continues to affect healthcare and basic services. At least 6 people have been killed and dozens more injured in the Ukrainian missile attack on the Russian city of Bryansk. It's the biggest attack on the city since the Russian full-scale invasion of Ukraine 4 years ago. Al Jazeera's Wilson Dizar reports.
Explosions shake the ground, shattering an early morning calm. Civilians in the Russian city of Bryansk have experienced Ukrainian attacks before. But local officials say this is the largest since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022. The strike targeted the Kremny L weapons factory.
Our
soldiers hit one of the important Russian military plants in Bryansk. This plant produces electronics, components for Russian missiles, the very ones that hit our cities, our villages, and civilians. We are defending ourselves.
The weapons factory is located in a residential area. The attack was carried out using Storm Shadow cruise missiles. The French-made weapon was provided to Ukraine by the United Kingdom. Tuesday's attack on Bryansk came the same day Russia struck the Ukrainian town of Sloviansk, leaving at least 4 people dead.
I was washing dishes in the sink, got up from the window, and when I stood up, that was it. It blew everything away. It's a deep wound.
As fighting rages on in eastern Ukraine, with tens of thousands dying for just a few kilometers of land, some estimates put combined Russian and Ukrainian military deaths at 500,000. Until there is a ceasefire, the civilian toll will grow as well. Wilson Dizard, Al Jazeera.
American bombers have left their British base as attacks continue in Iran. The UK Prime Minister agreed under pressure to allow US jets to take part in what he called limited defense strikes against Iranian targets. Al Jazeera's Richard Gaisford reports.
Taking to the skies, destination unknown. 3 US B-1 bombers leave RAF Fairford in southwest England. Well, there have been high levels of activity here at RAF Fairford all day. At one point, there were 12 US B-1 bombers on the ground at the same time, 3 of them taking off just minutes after the US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth declared that today would be the most intense day of strikes of the war so far. Keir Starmer's given the Americans permission for the base to be used for defensive missions. 3 long-range B-52 bombers also sit ready near the runway. The British Royal Navy destroyer HMS Dragon set sail from Portsmouth a week after the government announced it would be heading to Cyprus. The warship will eventually provide additional air defence capability for 2 UK military bases on the Mediterranean island. It's where the German Foreign Minister Johann Wadephul arrived to meet his Cypriot counterpart, a sign of European concern for the security of the island and the region.
I believe that we simply have to wait for the moment when there is a serious opportunity to enter into negotiations. And Europe must prepare for that moment, because we do indeed have a strong interest in it.
But with more US bombers landing in the UK, no talks on the horizon, and the US Defense Secretary promising a surge in strikes, the chances of de-escalation seem limited. Richard Gaisford, Al Jazeera, Fairford, England.
As US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth vowed the most intense day of strikes inside Iran, outlining aims to destroy Tehran's missiles, drones, navy, and nuclear program, question mount in Washington over strategy and cost. Al Jazeera's Patty Culhane reports.
As Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth took to the podium, it quickly became clear what message he wanted to send.
We are winning. We're crushing the enemy, winning decisively.
Tough talk and a promise of more impending destruction.
Today will be, yet again, our most intense day of strikes inside Iran. The most fighters, the most bombers, the most strikes.
He promised this would not be a long war, but said there are 3 goals: destroy Iran's missiles and drones and its ability to build them, take out Iran's navy, and its nuclear program. But when it comes to reopening shipping in the Strait of Hormuz, giving military escorts to ships, the chief military officer indicated that order has not been given.
If tasked to escort, we'll look at the range of options to set the military conditions to be able to do that. And then, like we always do with every potential mission, come to the Secretary and the President with both what are the resources required, what is the command and control required, and what are the risks.
Experts say military escorts would increase the risk to U.S. ships and sailors in a narrow strip of water potentially already laced with mines. Patty Culhane, Al Jazeera, Washington.
Thanks, Dominique. This brings us to the end of our regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-minute forecast. And that's it to be 2 Headline News for this Wednesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then,